Everyone, so this is the boron book. So today I am going to discuss about the layers of retina. So there are basically 10 layers of retina. So we are going to discuss about them. So in the figure we can see over here there are 10 layers of retina. The first one is the pigment epithelium, second is photoreceptor layer, third outer limiting membrane, fourth outer nuclear layer, fifth outer plexiform layer, sixth inner nuclear layer, seventh inner plexiform layer, 8th ganglion cell layer, 9th nerve fiber layer, and 10th is the inner limiting membrane. So the 10 layers are shown here. So the outermost portion we know is the pigmented epithelium, which is just inside the choroid. Here the pigment cells we can see here, they are tentacle like processes. So they are extending into the photoreceptor layer. So here photoreceptor layer they are extending and surround the outer segments of rods and cones. These processes prevents transverse scatter of light between the photoreceptor cells. तो ये लोग ट्रांसफर स्कैटरिंग ऑफ लाइट को प्रिवेंट करते हैं और ये मैकेनिकल फंक्शन की तरह एक्ट करते हैं, मेंटेनिंग कॉन्टैक्ट बिटवीन द लेयर्स 1 and 2. So basically this pigmented epithelium it provides nutrients and remove waste from the photoreceptor cells, phagocytose the ends of the outer segments of the rods which are continuously shed, or reconvert करते metabolize visual pigment into the form that can be reused after it is transported back to the photoreceptors. So there are totally 3 functions. It's providing nutrients, it's removing waste from the photoreceptors, it is phagocytizing the ends of the outer segments of the rod, and it is converting metabolized visual pigment into a form that can be reused again after it is transported back into the photoreceptors. So third, the retinal glial cells known as the Muller cells. Here are the Muller cells. You can see here. This one is these are the Muller cells. So these plays an important role in meeting the internal geometry of the retina. So they are oriented radially parallel to the light path through the retina. So the outer ends of the Muller cells form tight junctions with the inner segments of the photoreceptor cells. So here is the outer segment. Here is the inner segment. So Muller cells are supporting glial cells. You can see over here, these are the Muller cells. These are supporting glial cells. So these supporting glial cells, that is the retinal glial cells, it plays a role in maintaining the geometry. Muller cells are oriented, they are oriented radially parallel to the light path. The outer ends of the Muller cells forms a tight junction with inner segments of the photoreceptor cell. So this is the photoreceptor cells, inner segment and an outer segment is there. So they are forming tight junctions with the inner segment, this segment of the photoreceptor cell layer. Okay, and these numerous connections have appearance of a continuous layer, the outer limiting membrane. So inside the external limiting membrane, what is there is the outer nuclear layer, that is the layer 4 that contains the cell bodies. This is the outer nuclear layers, it contains cell bodies, that and nuclei of the rods and cones. The outer plexiform layer, layer 5, contains synapses between the photoreceptors and the retinal interneurons, including bipolar cell and horizontal cells, whose cell bodies are found in the inner nuclear layer. So this is the outer nuclear layer. In the outer nuclear layer, what are we seeing? We are seeing cell bodies and nuclei of the rods and cones. And outer plexiform layer, and in plexiform layer we are seeing synapses between the photoreceptors and retinal interneurons, including bipolar cells and horizontal cells, whose cell bodies are formed in inner nuclear layer. So in the nuclear layer we are seeing cell bodies. Okay, cell bodies of the retina, cell bodies of other retinal interneurons, the amacrine and interplexiform cells, and the Muller cells. So basically we are seeing cell bodies, bipolar cell body in the nuclear layer. Then again in the inner plexiform layer we are seeing the synapses. Here also outer plexiform layer synapses, then cell bodies in the inner nuclear layers of the bipolar, Muller cells, and then in the inner plexiform layer again we are seeing synapses between the retinal neurons of the inner nuclear layer, including bipolar and amacrine cells, and the ganglion cells whose cell bodies lie in the ganglion cell layer. Okay, the next is the layer 8, that is the ganglion cell layer. In the ganglion cell layer, the ganglion cells are the output cells of retina. It is their axon that transmits the visual information from the to the brain. These axons form the optic fiber layer. Next layer is the optic fiber layer. So this is the ganglion cells. After these axons are forming, here the axons are forming the pathway. Okay, axons at the surface of retina passing via the optic nerve, chiasm, tract and to the lateral geniculate body. Next is the nerve fiber layer. This is the ninth layer, is the nerve fiber layer. Okay, these axons form the optic fiber layer, pass along the inner surface of the retina while avoiding the fovea and enter the optic disc. They are entering the optic disc, okay, where they leave the eye as the optic nerve. The portions of the ganglion cell axons that are in the optic fiber layer remains unmyelinated. You have to remember this, okay. The portions of the ganglion cells axons, they are unmyelinated, but they become myelinated after they reach the optic disc. The lack of myelin where the axon cross the retina helps permit light to pass through the inner retina with minimal distortion. And the innermost layer of retina is the inner limit, meaning formed by the end feet of the Muller cells. Okay, thank you.